I'm learning.
Even when you feel low, even when you feel low, you can still.
Technical difficulties, folks. You know what? Screw it. We're just gonna go right off the cuff. It's fight night, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Josey. This is Stcks. It's just the two of these beautiful faces that you get to look at tonight. So
Round one. There we go. I did it for
round
you.
one.
I did it for you.
Fight.
Fight. There it is.
Um,
There it is. There's gonna be a little different on the show, Josie. Should we
little
update the
different.
people?
Little different.
Should we update the people?
Yeah, some things might be changing. Stacks, you're in that show we might be show we were talking about really might be coming to fruition now.
Yeah, it's possible at this rate,
Uh,
huh? Yeah.
So hang on a quick second. I'm all out of it tonight, man.
There it is. There it is.
Get this
Hey,
right. Get
we're
this
half
right.
here, ladies and gentlemen. We're half here. We're half here. Both aesthetically and
Bam. There we
and
go.
all.
There we go.
There
All
it
right.
is.
And all right. So we're gonna go ahead and jump it off. The biggest news in wrestling this week is a Impact as of January 2024 will be returning to the TNA brand. I'm actually pretty fucking excited about this.
I love that for them. Why not rebrand? Like, it's not gonna kill you.
No, and
It
well,
can't make it
you
any,
know,
yeah.
did you see Scott D'Amore's?
I did. I thought he
When-
had a seizure in the middle of the ring. To be
My
honest
God,
with
it
you.
was so good. But he's
honest
right.
with you,
Like the
Josie,
fans still chant TNA. Like the
Oh, they
fans
do.
still chant it every
Well,
show.
not only that, but casuals. It's synonymous. They're
Yeah.
synonymous with TNA, so it makes perfect sense.
So
Yeah.
I think this is great. On top of, they also announced that the Hard to Kill venue is going to be much larger than venues they've been doing recently.
Yeah.
Zach's question is:
What's up?
is TNA making a move? Are they trying to? Now, I don't see them taking the second spot without a better TV deal.
Oh
That
no.
really-
Well, no, and Josie, to be fair, you've said that for a hot minute now. You've said that, that in order for them to make it big, they need some sort of TV deal that's going to kind of propel them to that next level. And so
Right
without
now-
that, I don't think we'll get that. But
Right now, NWA has a better TV deal than Impact.
man, how
Then
sad
people
is
can-
that though?
That's pretty sad. That's
That
pretty
is
sad.
That's super sad, Josie.
And I tell you, I'm starting to hate Billy Corgan more and more as a wrestling owner.
More and more as time goes on.
Yeah, like
Yes.
he basically kissed WWE's ass this week with some comments he made. And I just I don't-
To be fair, Josie, I didn't mean to cut you off, but do you think this move by Scott D'Amore is literally not necessarily a desperate move, but just one that adapt or die? Like we either it's more or less.
No, I think
Jones
think before Scott D'Amore, I think that's one thing that every iteration of NWA, Impact, TNA, whatever you want to call it, has done very well is adapt or die. I mean, you gotta give them credit. They've now been around 20 fucking years. They've had their ups, they've had their downs, but they've always been around, and they've been on TV
for a
for
majority of it.
15.
Yeah, for a majority of it.
Something like that, I think.
Yes.
So that's impressive. And whether you want to admit it or not, there was a time they were the number 2 wrestling promotion in the U.S.
Oh, they were absolutely yes.
So
For a time,
it was the only other
AJ
thing other than
Styles, all those
WWE.
boys.
Yeah,
Yep,
and
all those
yes,
boys.
also that's the other thing you got to look at. The talent that has come out of Impact. You got AJ Styles, Bobby Roode, James Storm, um, the talent that has graced Impact. Will Ospreay, Kazuchika Okada, Kenny Omega. Um, you even had appearances from guys like Dean Ambrose before
Dean Ambrose for a hot minute.
yeah, like the
Yep.
list goes on and on and on and on and on. I mean, one of the bigger.
To be fair, for a time there, some could argue that Impact was NXT for the WWE there for a hot minute.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For
absolutely, absolutely.
sure. And so I do feel like Impact, yes, is making moves, and they have been doing it very. I mean, since D'Amore has taken over, they have been making very smart decisions. They've been doing smaller venues. They've been
Smaller
selling
venues.
out just about every venue they do.
Well, and there's a guy with a podcast that I listened to that involves Impact, and he said when he's went to their Chicago shows that he's just kind of thoroughly taken back a little bit by just the amount of people that are there, and it's slowly but surely it's gaining more traction as far as ticket sales.
I mean, if you take the TV deal out of it, if you just look at the product, Impact is giving you some of the best weekly content out of all three companies and has been for a while.
Especially with that women's division.
I mean, yeah, their women's division has been one of the top women's divisions for a couple of years now.
Yep.
Minus maybe 6 months last year when AEW's was just on fire. But
yep, was literally on fire. Yeah. Well, and that's another thing too. If we have time, I kind of want to throw that in there. I kind of want to get your thoughts on the Trinity interview on Busted Open. I don't know if you had a chance to listen.
I didn't hear it, but we
Yeah.
can definitely talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about that because that's some interesting stuff. But anyway, yeah, no, I think it's nice. I think as far as this Impact thing, I think this is going to help them. Again, most people are synonymous with Impact and TNA, it being TNA anyway, so you might as well, and it just kind of puts a fresh coat of paint on the product.
Well, I would say it's more from what I've seen, and this might change before the official rebrand, but from what I've seen, I think it's putting an old coat of paint on it. It looks like they're going to bring back the old
logo too. Even the old logo, yeah.
Like the old logo. Like that's
the original. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yep. And I mean, I read that at the 1,000th episode, they did one match where it was all in old school TNA graphics, and I heard it was a really good match. So,
I'm excited.
Did you watch Bound for Glory at all?
I have not yet, unfortunately.
I've been wanting to watch it this week, but I just haven't had the chance.
It's been a busy week thus far, but I plan on getting to that because I want to watch me and Will's boy. I want to watch Ospreay.
Man, I heard that match was a banger.
Oh,
I heard it was
I can't wait.
Banger.
I can't wait. I cannot wait to watch that.
I also, you know what? Let's go ahead and transition here a little bit. Speaking about Ospreay, I heard a little thing this week that he is talking to multiple companies, including New Japan and WWE and AEW, as far as where he's going to sign once his contract is out. But you know who's in the running? The top one in the running right now?
For his services? Really?
Out of his mouth.
Out of his mouth? Dude, how slighted would you feel if you're Tony Khan?
Will is not someone that I get that's cares all about the money. It's not about the paycheck.
Well, no, but I'm just saying what I mean. What kind of? I mean, I'm just saying in
I mean,
general.
he's been working for both companies. He's been working for Impact. He's been
That's
working for
fair.
AEW.
That's fair. That's fair. But also now I'm just spitballing here. Does Tony Khan kind of get? Granted, I don't think you have the luxury to do that, but does he kind of get a little in his head and is like, hey, if you sign with us, you sign with us strictly because I can't have this scenario. If Will
Well-
Ospreay walks out the door, like, how's that look that, you know?
Well, Osprey is not signed to that kind of deal.
Well, no, I understand that, but I'm just saying in the future though, does Tony Khan, if you lose Ospreay and he doesn't sign with AEW and he goes to Impact, does I'm just saying from the AEW standpoint of things, does Tony Khan look at it a bit differently and is like, I don't know if I want to mess with that anymore because then
No, because
I understand. I'm just posing the question. I agree too.
I don't think so because I think right now when he uses Osprey, like if you see Osprey come out on whether it's Impact or AEW, in his Titantron, there's always a New Japan logo. First and foremost, he is signed
it always is. Yeah, that's
New
fair.
Japan.
There is.
And he is just
Yep.
New Japan. He has a deal with New Japan, and New Japan has always been very good about letting their wrestlers go and do other shows.
Yep.
And so, I don't think if Ospreay were to sign with TNA, I don't think Tony Khan would see it as a slight because he just lost out on a guy. I mean, it's not the first time it happened. He lost out on Edge 3 years ago, and now he got Edge.
Right.
So
no, that's fair. But I guess I was just saying it from the standpoint. I was posing it because I thought it's a decent conversation.
No, I agree with you. I think it is an interesting thought, and I think I don't see Tony ever doing away with that too, because that's one of the things that gets wrestlers to sign with him.
Oh no, 100%. I agree with you 100%. I don't think it's like I said previously. I don't think he has the luxury. First of all,
he definitely does not have that luxury.
No, he doesn't have the luxury. But I guess it's just one of those things to put that question to pose of, man, do you start thinking a little bit differently? Just because, especially because, in my mind, Josey, I don't know about yours, but it's different from Edge because Edge wasn't already, appearing in pay-per-views for him at the time when he tried
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I don't see the way that he could see it as a slight, I guess, is more like if he were to see that as a slight, I feel like he's gonna get drugged on the internet.
I don't know, but at the same time though, Josey, he is kind of petty in his own way.
Oh, okay. So then let's take another transition. Let's talk about his fucking tweets the last couple of weeks.
Oh goodness gracious!
Because I have always been a supporter of TK. I like TK. Yep, I think he's a good promoter. From the jump, I have always been a supporter of TK. I think he has a good wrestling mind. People shit on him for being a mark and a fan, but I think that's one of the greatest things.
It's helped him. It's helped him though. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's definitely 100% helped him though. Like, let's be honest.
However, someone needs to take his goddamn keyboard.
Yeah. No, 100%. Because at some point you're gonna get yourself in a situation you don't want to be in, and you're gonna say something to you're gonna say something to somebody that that's not gonna be able to
easily taken back or
retracted. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, did you see the things that his comments about Triple H and everything?
I did see some of it. Yes.
It is ignited a fire in WWE because They just didn't feel
Granted,
like
I
it
don't
was
know how
enough.
much it's helped their product over the last couple of weeks, to be honest. I did try and sit through and watch Raw,
How was it?
and I still couldn't really get through it, Joseph. I couldn't get through it, man. I try, but I
Did you see
I
Liz,
can't get
Becky? Did you see Becky lost the NXT title last night
I did
to
as
someone I'd never
she
fucking
should.
heard of?
Well, I didn't see who'd she. I saw she who'd
I
she
really had never heard of this person.
who'd
Hang
she
on.
defeat though. I know I didn't. I couldn't remember who she defeated. That's because I didn't notice the name.
It is Laya Valkyria. I never heard of her before last night.
Who the hell is that? And why are we doing it?
She's 23 years old.
23? That's
She
young.
debuted in 2015. She's from Dublin.
They must. I mean, let's just say this, Josie. That they must really think highly of her if they wanted to take
She
it off of.
joined in 2020.
I mean, don't you think? I mean, they got to think pretty highly of her to take it off of.
I mean, yeah, yes,
take it off the man.
That was definitely my first thought. Is
Yeah.
take it off the man and put it on her. That's definitely a rub.
Yeah, you're not just doing that with everybody. Not at all.
So,
No.
I do think it's an interesting move. I wanted it to be Nikita Lyons.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and yeah, for a multitude of reasons, as we always talk about. Yes. Yeah. Because look at that. Absolutely.
Just look at it.
Josie, I'll tell you what. I'll become a Buffalo Bills fan tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? She's got a Bills hat on.
Is that a Bills
That's
hat?
a Bills hat. That's a Bills hat, Josie. I'll become a Bills fan tomorrow.
I don't care.
Oh yeah,
I don't care.
Josh Allen, baby. Y'all, yeah,
I was gonna say I would happily be
all
the
day,
bottom.
Josh Allen.
I would happily be the bottom of that sandwich, with her and Josh Allen all day long. And Josh Allen isn't that cute, to be totally honest.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I know this isn't the show, but I got to bring this up. So I went on a trip this weekend, and we were coming back on the school bus, and I watched a documentary. I watched the new Kelsey documentary.
Oh, you did? I haven't quite watched it yet. Is it?
It's so good.
Is it good?
It's so good, and I tell you, man, I welled up like 5 times. Jason Kelsey is fucking daddy, and no one is ever gonna convince me differently, because he is honestly such a good dad.
Yeah,
he's such a good dad.
And well, do you remember like during the I don't know if you saw this on like ESPN, but like during training camp they were making fun of him for like playing fetch with him or whatever, because like he was out on the field throwing the ball and they were running after it, so they're like, oh, what attention he pays, but at the same time it's like, dude.
But see, that's another thing he talks about in the show is he tries really hard to play with his kids, but he's 35 years old. Like during the season, he's on anti-inflammatories. He's on all kinds of things, and during the off season, he's not on those things. So he hurts all the time. His joints hurt.
I can't imagine his body. I can't imagine.
He's really been contemplating retirement the last few years.
Because I mean it's literally everybody. It's literally what everybody says. Like, you want to be able to play with your kids. Like,
well, and now
like it's
right after the Super Bowl, he had his third, and I honestly wasn't sure he was coming back this year. And the whole documentary was originally meant to document his last year in the league, ending with him retiring. And he said in the beginning of the documentary, not to give too much away, they have him and Travis on a radio show, and they're talking about what it felt like for Travis to go lose one, win, go again, lose it, and then go back. And he says, after you lose it, after you've already won one, you're so hungry. Like you want that one more than you wanted the first one.
Yeah. Well, and
at the end of the documentary, they play that clip again over Jason saying he was right. Like I want this so bad now. And that's basically why Jason decided to come back one more year.
Well, yeah,
I do believe win or lose at the end of this year,
he'll
Jason
be done.
Kelsey is
Yeah,
done.
I agree. Yeah, I think he's done. Yeah, and real quick, and then we'll get back to wrestling. But I did that they did have Travis on the Pat McAfee show about a month or so ago, and they were promoting the documentary, and Travis just said, yeah, man, like he has too much competitive fire coming off that loss. You know, to hang it up now. Like, you know, he wants to be able to, you know, win one more before he's done, and he still has an itch. So until he can scratch that itch, he'll play. So yeah, it's interesting stuff.
Yeah, but damn good paper, damn good documentary. As someone who likes documentaries, damn good.
Damn good. Well, good. Yeah, I've been meaning to watch it, just haven't quite gotten there yet.
So, all right, back to wrestling. So, what did Trinity say on Busted Open?
So I haven't listened to the whole thing. I just kind of caught a snippet, but basically it was like from the snippet that I heard, it was, and I don't want to, and I'm not, and I'm paraphrasing here because it wasn't exactly it, but it was just like, did you feel like you had something to prove when you signed to TNA? And so the obvious answer that me and you and everybody else listening, either now or later, is going to realize or know already how to say it is 100% absolutely. She had something to prove.
Yes.
Because you know, she felt like in retrospect she kind of got slighted with where she was at, and she felt like Impact was the place to do it, you know, just given the division. And she talked a lot about, in the snippet that I watched, she talked a lot about the camaraderie of the locker room and how that was such a big, you know, component as to why she signed with Impact. So, you know, because I know, so I know a lot of, you know, I know we've spoken about it here on the, you know, on previous episodes of like, you know, that's probably, or maybe even like you said, how you've heard that, and maybe you heard it confirmed. But yeah, no, that's exactly what it was. It's a, you know, they're very, you know, they're very together in that locker room, and so, you know, that drove her to want to sign there because, you know, they put their, you know, they set their egos, you know, they put their egos outside of the door, and they come into work and they just want to make each other better and have the, you know, produce the best product they can. So, yeah, I definitely would encourage, you know, to go listen to that. Obviously, I've been listening to Busted Open a little bit more than I have in the past, and you know, I know you listen to it quite a bit. So
I don't listen to Busted Open super often.
Not super often. Yeah.
No, because I find I haven't been listening to a lot of wrestling podcasts at all lately. I listen to
really?
Pete's World, and I listen to Olab Tanneritos, which is the recap of Full House. That's and then I listen to New Heights because Jason Kelsey is dead.
Because everybody does.
And yeah, because if you like football,
that and all the Swifties around
my God, man.
That and all the Swifties in the United States.
So I'm officially past. I don't think it is a stunt anymore. I think they're actually together. And
I don't know, man. I don't know. I still don't know. Jury's still out for me. I
gotta say, if it is real, because I've heard Taylor is looking for the one at this point. Like, she's 33, she's ready to settle down, start having a family. She couldn't pick a better fucking guy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I still don't know. Like, everything's so coincidental, though. Like, I hate to be a.
I mean, sometimes, man, it's just how this thing works out.
It's just, I mean, and what's and I know this isn't the podcast for, but what's up with the NFL? Like what
Oh
week
yeah, I
two of the
agree.
fact they were dating and like they're putting her on the as the
Putting
background photo of
and putting the
Twitter
stats, putting
and the
the stat,
stats, and
putting
it's like,
his
come
stats
on, can't we
comparative
just?
to when she's
And
there
it's
and
like,
not there.
and I told a buddy this the other day. It's almost like, okay, and I get it. The um what's Tom Brady's wife? Giselle. It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
Giselle's obviously not at the level of Taylor Swift, and she's talented, all that, love it, whatever. But it's just like, they don't even show her. They didn't even show Giselle that much, but yet Taylor Swift just every other time. And then now they claim that like that's why he plays well, and it's like, well, okay, fair, coincidental.
yeah, I agree. I think the NFL needs to start taking more of a NBA approach with the celebrities. But
Yes, 100%, 100%. Like, what was it cool for the first couple, for the first week or so? Yeah, obviously. I mean, because, yeah, it gained you popularity in a spectrum that you probably don't usually have, obviously, which is women. At least a little bit more because they follow that a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying, like, after a while, it's just like, okay, we get it.
yeah,
Yeah.
all right.
But
So
anyway,
back
back
to
to
wrestling.
back to
Um, so I have yet to watch Dynamite this week. I
same.
watched a little bit of Collision, but I had my daughter this weekend, so I didn't get to watch all of it.
Yeah, Collision. I was doing some other things, so I unfortunately didn't get to watch Collision
And
myself.
then I didn't watch any of Battle of the Belts, which they need to do something different with Battle of the Belts.
That's Yep, yep. I did watch a bit of that, but okay, and I did kind of want to hit on Battle of the Belts for a second because no offense, but we're really gonna have Dusty, or we're gonna have not Dusty. Sorry, what's his name?
Dustin.
Dustin. We're really gonna have Dustin in there for real, Josie. Like that's what's gonna get people psyched.
It's because it
Like
was in
that.
Houston.
It's not even. I know, but it's not even believable. Like that's not even
Yeah, but he
believable.
gets a huge pop in Texas.
Oh man, come
He
on.
gets a huge pop. I've been there when he.
I understand. I understand. Texas. Yeah, I get it, but like really, it's not even believable. Like there was nobody in that outside of Rakad that you knew was gonna win.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I mean,
But
if we're gonna do that, and I did hear this, so this isn't coming from me. This idea is not coming from me. If we're gonna do that, why can't this exchange hands every year and be like a Money in the Bank thing or something, and have it to where like if you win it, you can get a title shot or something like that.
yeah, I
I'm,
agree. I've thought about that too. But the
yeah.
Battle of the Belts wasn't the Dynamite dozen fight happened on Dynamite this
Oh,
past
that's
week.
true. Oh yeah,
And
that's what I meant. Yeah, my
and
bad.
then he was supposed to. Juice fought MJF tonight for the ring.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I agree. Dustin was in that match because Dynamite was in Houston last week. That is the
No,
only reason.
no, and I know that, and I also know at the same time, me and you and everybody else knows how Khan operates. He's gonna give the fans what they want, and not only that, he's gonna throw a bone to those in their hometowns and whatnot,
Well, yeah, and Dustin is a
states and
huge.
stuff.
Well, he's a
Yeah.
huge part backstage.
Oh
You
no,
don't
I
see him
no, I
on
agree.
camera. He's a
I
huge
agree.
part backstage.
Oh, 100.
And I mean,
Yep.
you could say what you want. Dustin is a Hall of Famer, even though he may never be inducted to any Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Famer.
You don't think he gets in for Gold Dust?
I don't think WWE will put him in.
Not even with Cody now. Even with Cody there now, you don't think he gets in? I think he gets in.
I don't know.
It's. I
It would
mean,
depend. It would depend.
that's
They're not
very
gonna
that's
induct
very
him.
WWE of them too.
They're not going to induct him as long as he is contracted to AEW.
Oh
And
no,
I
I
can
agree.
see
It'll be a while, but I think
even after his in-ring career is fully finished, I think he still stays with AEW as a coach.
No, that's fair. Yeah, no, I agree. But
So I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe in 10 or so years when he's no
yeah, no,
longer.
I agree, Josie. I think it'll definitely be a while. It's not going to be in the next 5, but I think at some point, I do think he could. I, I, I'm not saying. I don't know if he's first ballot, obviously, but I think he gets in. I mean, shit. Look at all the other people that have gotten in.
Oh, you don't
Yeah.
have to. Yeah.
Yeah,
Personally, to me, the fact that Donald
it's so
Trump
watered down.
and
It's watered down.
the fact that Donald Trump and the Ultimate Warrior are in it just kills it for me. So
Yep. You know,
and then
and that used to be a thing, Josie. Not to cut you off, but that used to be a thing. You know, I used to watch that every year almost.
yeah,
And it used to. I mean, honestly, it was almost like
it was so good back in the day.
it was almost like the NFL type of. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Well,
it was
yeah,
on
it was
kind of on that level.
it
Yeah,
had
it
so
had
much
meaning.
prestige
It had
back then
prestige. Yeah, it had
because
meaning and
you
prestige.
knew
Yep.
you knew what you were gonna get. You were gonna get
Yep.
probably a couple of you were gonna get 1 or 2 top guys,
Yep.
a couple of mid carders, 1 woman, and a celebrity.
Absolutely.
And
Yep.
it's just not. I don't know. The last few years, it just hasn't been as good. I think one of the problems
It's almost like the NBA All Star. It's almost like the NBA All Star. That's what it is.
It's more like the NFL Pro Bowl, but
Oh, that too. Yeah, either way, you can lump them both together in that case. Hell
but
yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah. Yep.
All right. So what else? What else is there?
Yeah,
To
I was trying to think what else we wanted to hit on.
talk? Oh, while we're sitting here thinking, so I
Yeah.
was telling you before the show, as you can see in my little thing, I swerve when I drive.
You swerve when you
I
drive.
swerve when I drive.
Yes.
And I got to give a shout out to Mr. Stcks right here because he sent me a new Prince Nana Swerve When I Drive shirt. It's fucking sweet. And on top of that, got me a bunch of autographs. Got me a Chavo WCW NWO autograph.
Yeah.
A
Absolutely. That
Ruby
was
Soho,
cool.
which is
That was
probably
cool. Ruby
that
was
one is
cool.
that
That's
one's probably
cool.
one of
I
my
didn't
favorites.
expect that. I didn't expect that one in that pack.
That one's probably one of my favorites.
Then again, I didn't know what to
Butterbean,
expect. Yeah.
which out of all the ones I got is probably the one that's worth the most money, I would think, because
that's what I was wondering after you sent them to me. I'm like, oh, I wonder how much that's worth.
yeah. And then who else?
That was one of the things I thought
about. Fucking, I can't even remember this guy's full name, but it was Mr. Nasty.
Yeah, that one I didn't know. I'll be honest with you, Josie. I didn't know.
I remember him. He was I think a WCW guy. Will would know.
Okay, well that's why I didn't know because I didn't watch WCW.
And then was that it? I think that might have been it.
That I believe so. Looking back on it, I'm pretty sure that's it.
But yeah, so I, for the first time ever, put an AEW other than Kingdom by Cody Rhodes' song when it first came out. Put an AEW song on my playlist, and I put Swerve. I fucking love that song.
That'd be a great like cleaning the house song or something. Just something to like.
It's great when I'm on my bike.
Just something to bump to, yeah. While you're driving, yeah.
And honestly,
that's amazing.
And honestly, I gotta say, his music's pretty fucking good. I've listened to a few of his stuff, and it's pretty damn good. I like it.
Yeah, well, yeah. I haven't listened to much of it, but that one sounds good.
Did you see the tweet today of MJF doing the Nana dance?
No, I
in a
did not see
sweater
it.
in his shirt. It was freaking
Oh,
hilarious.
oh, no
A.W.
kidding.
Smith said, "Even the devil loves the Prince Nana dance."
Oh, that's amazing. I'm gonna go look at it real quick here. That's amazing.
Oh, excuse me.
That's amazing.
What else here? I'm trying to think. All right, so I can't think of anything else. So
Yeah.
before we close this out,
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't think of anything new either.
and since neither of us watched Dynamite and knows what happened tonight,
Yeah, and we got to give ourselves something to talk about next week anyway. So
that's true.
absolutely,
Let's do a little what if here for a minute.
let's do it.
So a few weeks ago, we talked about what if Edge and Christian both had 20+ years careers.
Yep,
And
remember
I've been
that.
trying to think of some good topics for this. And guys, me and Stacks are thinking about doing an actual show on this where we actually like do research and plan
That
out
would be dope because I would be down for this.
You and I are going to talk more about this after here in a minute.
You give me enough time to do some research, we could find some good stuff.
But for today, and note if this show happens, this topic will come up again because with some research, like you could really dive into this topic. But for today, what if John Cena, after his first loss to The Rock, actually had the heel turn?
I just thought about somebody brought this up somewhere too, like not in that exact order, but just what if he would have actually had his heel run?
Well, do you know the story about this? When that loss happened,
He was supposed to, wasn't he?
They had merch ready.
They had merch, yeah, right. They had merch ready. And why the hell they didn't do it, Josie? What a way to just kind
They should
of.
have pulled the fucking trigger.
They should have pulled the trigger because then, honestly, I wanted to just see his depth. You know,
truly, if they could have done it and he had a heel turn, which I think Cena could have pulled it off, seeing the actor he is now.
No, well, yeah, now I think so. But I
Hogan,
wouldn't have known that though.
If he had a heel turn like Hogan did, he would have cemented his legacy as this generation's Hogan, and maybe surpassed Hogan altogether.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, honestly,
I'm a huge Cena mark. Have been since I was a little kid. I love John Cena. He's always been one of my favorites.
Yeah,
but
cool.
I've said for years, the one thing the man needed to really put his career on that status.
And how weird is it, Josie, that a lot of those of that caliber always kind of had some sort of a heel turn, and he's one of them.
Yes.
You know,
Hogan had one heel turn his entire career.
Yep.
One heel turn in his entire career.
Yep. 100%.
And so let's break it down here a little bit. Mind you, if we ever do this on the other show, it will be in depth. But
yeah, it'll be a lot more in depth.
So he loses. That was WrestleMania 31.
I believe so.
I think. I don't know.
I'm almost positive that you are correct.
So he loses that. It's the Raw after Mania. And
here's my caveat to all this, though, and we can get into that. Here's my caveat to all this. Given the audience in which they are trying to appeal to,
that's why they didn't pull the trigger.
Exactly. So it makes sense in a way as to why they never did. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Oh, it definitely makes sense.
Correct. But from an overall, wrestling fandom standpoint, yes.
I feel like
I think we got blown a little bit. We got
I
low blow.
really feel that it's the only thing that his Hall of Fame, not one of the top guys in WWE of all time career, is missing, was a heel turn.
Yep.
I have said that for years and I will die by it. But yes, I 100% agree with you that they
Yep.
didn't pull the trigger because, I mean,
Yep.
John Cena is the reason they went PG in the first place because he looked out and saw a bunch of kids and told them that they should start appealing to kids.
Start appealing
So,
to kids. Yep.
I 100%
Yep.
think that's why they didn't do it.
Yeah.
But
No. Even if they would never tell you that, I feel
right
like
now, let's just talk about. We're not even going to dive past it, but let's just talk about what the Raw after Mania would have been like had he heel turn. So
would that been one of the most rewatched?
by far,
The
by
most rewatched.
far.
Could you imagine like the hits you would have gotten off that if he switches, if he flips?
So I would say you
We'd be
open.
pulling it up right now. Talking about.
I would say you open the show with him. He comes out in his normal.
I was getting ready to say that, Josie. He comes out all normal, like hustle,
Same
low,
music, but
respect,
maybe
throws
he's
his
not
head
as
fan.
maybe he's not as pumped. That's what I'm thinking. Like he comes out in the same gear, same
Yep,
music,
that's-
same everything, but he kind of just walks to the ring
Yep.
and doesn't do his whole shtick. And he gets to the ring and he starts to kind of give a pity promo, maybe
promo.
like
Yeah.
saying
All
I let
I've
you
done
guys
for this
down.
company, and I all this career, everything I've done, and blah blah.
But as it goes on, he gets more and more pissed and more and more pissed and
Yep.
more and more pissed.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, he just is lashing out and blaming the fans. Classic heel stuff. But just
Yep.
destroying the fans.
Which
Just
would be absolutely.
and then
Could you imagine
really,
the
if you wanted to
kids
sell
in
it,
the audience?
if you really
Imagine
wanted
the
to
kids
sell
in
it,
the audience. Oh man.
if you really wanted to sell it though, he goes after the kids in the audience. He says something about all the goddamn kids, or like, just I could see it. I can see this in my head as I close my
Yeah.
eyes because I can
Yeah.
just imagine how nuclear this would have gone.
Oh my
And
goodness.
and then it
some kid would
ends
literally be crying in his mom's.
20
like-
minutes. 20
like,
minutes. I
literally.
say you give 20 minutes of him just a promo, everything. I don't think anybody comes out. No one says. Maybe back then, who was GM? I can't even fucking remember.
I don't know.
Maybe a GM comes out and tries to calm him down, and he attacks him.
Oh,
Teddy Long. Teddy Long. Teddy Long was always a face.
Let's go. Bring it. Oh, that would.
Teddy Long comes out.
Josie, I don't know. Especially later in his career, I might have liked him a little bit more. Like, just give me something different rather than the same.
So he attacks Teddy. He beats the shit out of Teddy. But then, as he's walking away, he takes off everything. The headband, the wristbands, the shirt. And instead of throwing it in the crowd, he throws it on the ground and he stomps on it. And he walks away.
So here's my question. I know we're going deep dive, but what's his new slogan?
All right, so hustle, loyalty, and respect.
Hustle, loyalty, and respect. What's the slogan?
You know what? I think what would have been cool in this one, he goes back to Thug Life.
Well, that's kind of it's funny you bring that up because I was gonna prompt this question or just kind of say it out loud. Does he go back to some of the mannerisms that he had with
I think
with the Thugonomics character?
I don't know if the gangster rap stuff would have flown.
I mean, not necessarily the gangster rap stuff, but just kind of that.
Maybe more thug.
Yeah, like that kind of thing. But maybe a more elevated version of that, and not necessarily the. Yeah. I mean,
See,
yeah,
this would be the hard part of his heel turn. Is Cena is such a good guy.
Such a good guy. Yeah.
And it's hard to make him
It's
into
hard to picture that.
bad
Yeah. And no, absolutely, 100%. No, but I agree with you, Josie. I think there would be, and I'm not saying it'd be full-fledged thug, but I feel like there would be aspects of that character that bleed into this one.
Yeah, I think he would
in
definitely have
retrospect.
to lean into that character
Yeah.
some.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah.
I think, honestly, if I were to dive into this more, I think one of the best things probably would have been for him to do is something Cena never did, would have been start a faction. Pull like a Hogan and start a faction.
Yeah.
Maybe
Man,
like
who's in the faction?
that's what I'm thinking.
Well, I mean, but what was the year though? Because that's the thing. Because like for me, I need to look at the roster.
Okay, so let's look real quick. And this would be more discussed if we ever do this show in real.
This is like a little snippet, everybody. This is kind of what it would be like.
Because we would have it
right
with.
here.
So I was close. It was WrestleMania 29, by the way.
29. Yeah. Oh, you were close. Okay, 29. Yep.
And that was 2013.
Okay.
Let's look it up here. WWE.
I was trying to look it up myself here. Here's my question. Do they have a woman in there?
I think any good faction truly, in my opinion, needs a woman.
I agree. I agree.
Ooh, okay, man. Yeah,
Christian was still here in 2013. Yeah.
Ooh. See, some of these I think would be great, but I just don't know how they would fit in a faction with Cena.
I was gonna say how they mesh well in a faction.
Okay, so I got one for you that I think would be very interesting because of what he ended up doing in WWE and what he did outside. Now, I'm not a fan of this motherfucker anymore, but back then, Brodus Clay.
Ooh. I don't know. I'd really like to
say him being the muscle in that faction. I mean, he was the Funkasaurus. They could have made it.
Yeah.
They could have still made him the Funkasaurus, but taking it more dark.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
What about? Do you remember Camacho?
Camacho. A little bit. That's not.
What about Cody? What about young Cody?
Young Cody? Okay. I was gonna say this might be a little hard to believe, but I was gonna say the Miz. But then again, I didn't know if that was too much ego in one faction.
I don't know. The Miz and Cena the thing would be interesting there is just 2 years prior, the Miz and Cena had their match at Mania.
Right. That's fair. So that might be a little too close together there.
Well, no, I think that would make it more interesting. He turns heel and then goes.
What about WWE does what AEW did do, and what about Jack Swagger?
Swagger would be
instead of Brodus Clay.
Yes. Yeah. No, I think you're right there.
Because
I think at this point was Swagger doing the We the People with Cesaro.
Potentially, yes. I
I
believe
think
that
that's where they
was-
were at with him.
I
So,
agree.
I imagine you taking two of the biggest America pumping guys and just turning them into massive heels. Oh, I think that would be amazing.
That would be fantastic.
Um,
So
all right, so you've got
there's
Jack Swagger
Jack
as
Swagger
as
as
the
the
muscle.
muscle. As the muscle.
So now you need a tag team.
Okay. I'm looking here. You need a tag team.
And we need to say is Cena the singles guy? Cena is the singles
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, right. I mean that would you would have to
Leader / singles guy.
leader. Yep. What about?
Okay,
Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
this I don't think this one flies, but here's a random one for you that would be very interesting.
Okay, lay it on me.
The Road Dogg Jesse James, the badass Billy Gunn, new age outlaw.
Really? You think in 2013?
They were in. That was when they had their second run. At that year was the year
Okay.
they had their second title run.
Okay. Yeah, kind of play off the old days there a little bit, huh?
Yes, and I mean,
Get a
you
little
bring
bit
in
of
two of the guys that were in one of the
Two of the
biggest
guys?
factions
yeah,
in WWE history.
and kind of help maneuver that along a little bit.
Oh my God, I'm looking at the 2013 list, and you know whose face just popped up here with the NXT logo behind him?
Who's that?
Shawn Riker,
Shawn
aka
Riker.
L.A. Knight.
Here was my other one here, and this is just me. What about? Okay, so you have Cena, you have Swagger. What about Zack Ryder? Because at that time he was doing woo woo woo, you
Yeah.
know it. And who was my other one? There was another one. Oh, who was my other one? I had him, I lost him. Because he could be in a tag team. That was my tag team. Oh, I lost it. I lost it. I'll find it. But
What
it was
about
Zack Ryder and somebody though.
what about a young tag team? What about the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger?
Okay. I don't hate that just from an in-ring standpoint, even though I know that's not what WWE's about.
But he was
I was thinking Heath Slater. That's right. And Zack Ryder. And Zack Ryder. And Zack Ryder.
Interesting.
And Zack
Interesting.
That's what I was thinking.
All right, so you say Heath Slater and Zack Ryder.
Yep.
I countered that with Ty Dillinger and Tyler Breeze.
Okay. I don't hate that either. I actually like that a little bit better, so I might have to go with yours.
Okay. All right. So Jack Swagger is the muscle. You've got the new, like, Cena goes down to NXT and picks these two guys, handpicks them, and brings these two guys that no one at this point has heard of.
Man, could you imagine? I mean, that would be a whole nother deep dive. What would that do for their careers?
I know!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
All right, so two more spots. Well, actually, three more spots. You need a mid-card guy. Who's the mid-card guy?
I got it already, bro. Hang on. I had it already in my head. Give me 1 second. Dolph Ziggler.
Yes.
Dolph Ziggler.
No argument right there.
Dolph fucking Ziggler.
Yeah.
Dolph Ziggler.
All right. So, next one is your woman. Do you want to? But here's the thing:
Kelly,
the woman could possibly fill two roles.
Okay.
The woman, you could either have a manager, or the woman could be your wrestler, your female wrestler, and your manager.
Okay. What about Kelly?
I think too goody looking.
Too goody, you think?
Not edgy enough.
Couldn't have done it with her, huh? Okay.
My opinion.
What about Eve?
Not bad. What about Paige?
Okay. I don't hate that.
Or
Well, I don't know.
Natalia.
Well, I mean, who? Natalia? Now that I know what Paige is like in her own faction, granted,
it's hard for you to pick Paige.
It's hard for me to pick her because she's terrible. And I don't know if I love Natalia either, but what other option do you have?
Yeah, I'm looking at the female roster, and there's not a lot here. And both of those would not be my manager. They would strictly be wrestlers. Oh my God.
There's not a lot. AJ Lee.
Eden Styles is on the roster in here, and you know who Eden Styles is?
What's his?
No, this is a female. Eden Styles.
I have no idea.
Is Brandy Rhodes.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, she might be able to do that a little bit. What about well, no, she was too big then. Oh, man, there's really I was thinking like AJ Lee.
Yeah, I think AJ's too, like you said, too big at that point.
Okay, but I feel like she would fit that role though.
Yeah. You know who's also in it at this point that would be an interesting one as a manager only? Renee Young.
What about Lana back then?
Yeah, I was just looking at Lana.
Lana was on the roster then.
Nope, I got it. Nope. And this is a manager. This is the manager. Stephanie McMahon.
Really?
Either that or Vicky Guerrero.
I don't like Vicky for that. I'll give you Stephanie. We'll meet in the middle, and I'll give you Stephanie.
But if you're picking just a wrestler, I think it's got to be Paige.
That's fair. No, that's fair because there's nobody really else on there that like would blow you away.
Is as good in the ring.
Yeah,
as her.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. That's fair.
So then, if you pick Paige as your female wrestler and not your manager, and not pick your female manager, then who manages this group?
I don't know if you do it. Do you?
Yeah, I don't know if you need it. Cena's the leader.
I don't know if you need it. There's too many.
And honestly, you got a 5-person faction. That's a large faction.
That's a large faction at that time. Yeah. Yeah, I say you don't need it in that case. Because Cena can be your mouthpiece.
You've got a couple of good mouthpieces on this one. You don't ever give Jack Swagger the mic.
Correct.
Yeah. He just stands there and looks tough.
Dolph
Cena.
can talk.
Well, we didn't say Dolph. We said Cena.
Oh, that's right.
But you got Cena, you got Ty Dillinger, you got Tyler Breeze. All three of those are fantastic on the mic. And,
I was going to say Breeze.
Oh no, and then we did pick Dolph as our mid card guy.
That's
so
what
then
I thought. We did pick Dolph. Yeah.
Dolph is number 4. So you got 4 good talkers, and then Paige, who's another good talker. Literally the only person on there that's not saying a word is Jack Swagger.
But in that role, he doesn't need to.
No, it is basically what he did in the
Yeah,
Jericho Appreciation
absolutely.
Society and
100%.
Inner Circle.
Yep, 100%. Oh, I love it. I think that would have been some interesting television.
Oh my God, those 6
And
people
it's
would
so
have.
much fun because it opens up another can of worms of what those others careers could have potentially been if that would have happened.
I could see world championships in.
Ziggler. I mean,
No, I'm trying
you
to think.
saw it
I
anyway.
see. I
You
could
saw
see.
that anyway.
No, but if this goes well,
Tyler Breeze.
Ziggler has more runs.
Yeah, no,
at
I
this
agree.
point
I was
in
gonna
his
say you
career.
see more of a run. Breeze.
He's more.
Yep.
He actually makes top guy status.
Yep. Oh,
Um,
for sure. They all
Tyler
get elevated.
Breeze
I think
and Tyler Breeze and Ty Dillinger are both either at least a 1 to 2 time some kind of world
Intercontinental
champion.
United States. Yeah.
Well, I would say 1 to 2 time world champion, multi-time United States or Intercontinental champions.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, I don't see long runs with them, but I think they get their hands on one.
Yeah.
Yep. Wow.
And then the thing is I could see Ty and Tyler Breeze's gimmicks both still working in this faction. The Perfect 10 would have been great as a heel.
Would have been fantastic. Yeah.
And then
I don't know if cell phone Breeze would have worked though. The whole pop. Yeah, I don't know. That's what makes it interesting there, Josie, because you'd have. Oh, are you still there? Oh shoot. Oh
no, I'm still here.
Oh, still here. Got it.
Yeah, my phone locked.
I don't know. I don't know how Tyler Breeze would have played that though.
I think you could have just. He's still good looking. He's still you play it as he's still good looking. But see, the thing that made Tyler so good in NXT is he could play that gimmick, but then he was so fucking talented in the ring.
Oh, 100%.
So talented. You realize
100%,
this dude
100%.
is one of the only dudes to ever face Jushin Thunder Liger in a WWE ring.
Yep. It's amazing. Amazing.
And so I think you could have you could have still done Prince Pretty, made it more gritty, and put more emphasis on how good he was in the ring. But still cared what he looked like. But just maybe pull back on the little bit of
on the cell phone. Cell phone and all the
like lounging up on the ropes
and all that. Yeah, that too. Yeah, and the attire would have been different. Yeah, absolutely.
And then I don't think you would have had done a lot to Jack Swagger.
No,
I think
not
keep
really.
the name definitely.
Not really. Get rid of the USA boxers or whatever the hell he was wearing.
Yeah.
And
put him in
jeans and a polo or something.
What you do is what he wore. You put him in what he wore in Jericho Appreciation Society. That's what you put him in.
Yeah, no,
and then you put a big gold chain around his neck.
That's great. 1,000%. Yeah. With a lock on it, just so.
With a lock on it, just the throwback.
Just cause. Oh, hell yes. That'd be amazing. I love it.
Yeah. This is an interesting thought. We will definitely dive more into this.
I love it.
Well,
this is fun.
We ended up going a little longer than we planned on. So we're going to go ahead and call it there for this episode of Fight Night. But we will be back next week.
Fight Night?
I think is Crown Jewel this weekend?
Let me take a peek here. Sounds correct. No, it's
Next week.
next week, November 4th.
Yeah, next weekend.
November 4th. Yeah. Well, let's watch that Impact thing, Josie, and we can talk about that next week. Even I really want to watch that. I really want to watch that.
Go back and watch Mount for Glory, and then
Yep.
I actually think I might watch Impact this week.
Yep, I think I'm going to do the same. So we'll have something there plus AEW as always. So
yeah,
sounds good. Sounds good to me.
That is going to do it for us, guys. Y'all have a great night, and we will see y'all next week.
Adios.
We out.